Have you ever wondered how hydrogen fuel cell vehicles work? In our world today, there's a growing interest in these vehicles, and for good reason. As we continually strive for sustainable alternatives to traditional fuel vehicles, hydrogen fuel cell vehicles offer a promising solution. But what exactly are they? Hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, also known as HFCVs, are not just a concept of the future, they're here now, revolutionizing the way we think about transportation. They're vehicles that use hydrogen gas to power an electric motor. Unlike conventional vehicles which run on gasoline or diesel, HFCVs emit only water vapor and warm air. So they're not just good for the environment, they're also efficient and innovative. But how do they work? What makes them different? And why should we care? These are questions we're going to delve into, so buckle up and let's embark on this journey together. Stick around to discover the fascinating science behind hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. First, we need to understand what a hydrogen fuel cell is. Imagine a sandwich. No, not the kind you eat for lunch, but a technological sandwich where the bread is made of electrodes and the filling is an electrolyte. This is the basic structure of a fuel cell. Now let's bring in the main ingredients of this innovative power source: hydrogen and oxygen. Picture the hydrogen atoms entering the fuel cell at the anode, which is one side of our sandwich. Here they undergo a chemical reaction that strips them of their electrons, creating positively charged hydrogen ions and negatively charged electrons. The electrolyte filling plays a crucial role here. It's like a strict gatekeeper, allowing only the positively charged hydrogen ions to pass through to the other side, the cathode. The electrons, however, are forced to take a longer route, creating an electric current along the way. So, where does the oxygen come in? Well, it's patiently waiting at the cathode. As the hydrogen ions reach the cathode, the oxygen joins the party, reacting with the ions and the incoming electrons to produce water. That's right, the only byproduct from this process, believe it or not, is pure, clean water. But the magic doesn't stop there. While water might be the only physical byproduct, the journey of the electrons that were forced to take the scenic route gives us something even more essential: electricity. This electricity powers the fuel cell to do work, whether it's lighting up a bulb or propelling a vehicle. In essence, a hydrogen fuel cell is a mini power plant generating electricity through a clean, efficient process. It takes the most abundant element in the universe, hydrogen, and combines it with oxygen to produce electricity and water, with no harmful emissions. Now that we know what a fuel cell is, how does it fit into a vehicle? A hydrogen fuel cell vehicle is more than just its fuel cell. It's a symphony of several intricate components, each playing a crucial role in transforming hydrogen into clean energy. Let's dive into the main parts of a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle, including the fuel cell stack, hydrogen storage, battery, and electric motor. The heart of any hydrogen fuel cell vehicle is the fuel cell stack. This is where the magic happens, where hydrogen and oxygen are combined to create electricity. The fuel cell stack is made up of hundreds of individual cells, each one a miniature power plant. Through a process known as electrolysis, these cells convert hydrogen fuel into electricity, with water and heat as the only byproducts. Next, we have the hydrogen storage. This is essentially the vehicle's fuel tank, where the hydrogen is stored under high pressure. The hydrogen is typically stored in carbon fiber composite cylinders, which are both lightweight and extremely strong. These cylinders can hold enough hydrogen to give the vehicle a range comparable to that of a conventional gasoline-powered car. Then, there's the battery. While the fuel cell stack is the main source of power, the battery acts as a backup, storing excess energy produced by the fuel cells. When the vehicle needs an extra boost, such as during acceleration, the battery steps in to provide additional power. Finally, the electric motor. Unlike a conventional car, which relies on an internal combustion engine, a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle uses an electric motor for propulsion. This motor is powered by the electricity generated by the fuel cell stack, delivering a smooth and quiet ride, free from the rumble and roar of a gasoline engine. Each of these components is integral to the operation of a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle, working together in perfect harmony to provide a clean, efficient, and sustainable mode of transportation. So, we've seen the parts, but how do they all work together? Let's move on to the next scene to unravel this fascinating interplay. The operation of a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle is a marvel of modern engineering. Let's delve into the fascinating process that makes these vehicles move. At the heart of the vehicle is the hydrogen fuel cell stack. This stack is a series of cells where the magic happens, turning hydrogen and oxygen into electricity. Each cell contains an anode, a cathode, and a proton exchange membrane. The hydrogen gas stored in high-pressure tanks on board the vehicle is fed into the anode side of the fuel cell stack. Here, a catalyst, often made of platinum, causes the hydrogen molecules to split into protons and electrons. The protons pass directly through the proton exchange membrane to the cathode side of the cell. However, the electrons cannot pass through this membrane. Instead, they are forced to take a longer route, creating an electric current as they flow through an external circuit. This is the electricity that powers the electric motor and propels the vehicle. Meanwhile, on the cathode side of the fuel cell, oxygen from the air we breathe is being drawn in. When the protons and electrons finally reunite here, they combine with this oxygen to form water. This water, pure enough to drink, is the only emission from a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle, a stark contrast to the harmful gases released by conventional cars. Now, let's not forget about the battery. Yes, hydrogen fuel cell vehicles also have batteries, much like their electric counterparts. The battery acts as a buffer, storing excess energy produced by the fuel cell stack when the demand is low, like when the car is idling. This stored energy can then be used when the demand is high, for instance, when the car is accelerating. The vehicle also features a device known as a DC-DC converter. This nifty gadget steps down the voltage from the fuel cell and battery to a level that can be used by the car's auxiliary systems, like the lights and the radio. Finally, we have the electric motor. Unlike the complex engines found in conventional cars, electric motors are beautifully simple and incredibly efficient. They convert the electrical energy from the fuel cell and battery into mechanical energy, which drives the wheels and moves the vehicle. To manage all these components, the vehicle uses a sophisticated control system. This system continuously monitors the state of the vehicle and the driver's demands, adjusting the flow of hydrogen, the output of the fuel cell, and the discharge of the battery to ensure smooth and efficient operation. And that's how a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle works. But what are the benefits? Hydrogen fuel cell vehicles offer many advantages, but they also come with their own set of challenges. Let's delve a little deeper into this. Starting with the benefits, the most significant advantage of hydrogen fuel cell vehicles is zero emissions. Unlike traditional gasoline-powered cars, these vehicles only emit water vapor, making them a much cleaner alternative. This could be a game changer in combating climate change and reducing our carbon footprint. Furthermore, hydrogen fuel cell vehicles boast impressive energy efficiency. They convert a higher percentage of their fuel into power, meaning less energy is wasted. This makes them not only environmentally friendly, but also cost-effective in the long run. Plus, they offer a higher range and faster refueling time compared to electric vehicles. You can fill up a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle in just a few minutes, much like a traditional car, and drive for several hundred miles. Now let's shift gears and discuss the challenges. The primary hurdle is the lack of a hydrogen infrastructure. We don't have as many hydrogen refueling stations as we do gas stations, which can make owning a hydrogen vehicle less convenient. Producing hydrogen fuel is also energy intensive and often relies on natural gas, which can contribute to greenhouse gas emissions. It's a paradox that we need to address to truly harness the potential of this technology. Then there's the cost. Hydrogen fuel cell vehicles are currently more expensive than their gasoline counterparts. The high price tag can be a deterrent for many potential buyers, and until costs come down, adoption will likely be slow. Finally, there's the issue of storage and transport. Hydrogen is a light, low-density gas, making it challenging to store and transport in large quantities. This adds another layer of complexity to the already daunting task of building a hydrogen infrastructure. As we advance in technology and infrastructure, we may see hydrogen fuel cell vehicles become a common sight on our roads. The journey may be challenging, but the destination, a world with cleaner, more efficient transportation, is definitely worth the effort. To recap, we've learned quite a bit about hydrogen fuel cell vehicles today. We started by introducing the concept, shedding light on a viable and sustainable alternative to traditional combustion engines. We then delved into the basics of hydrogen fuel cells, understanding how they generate electricity by combining hydrogen and oxygen. Our journey took us deeper into the components of a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle, including the fuel cell stack, hydrogen tanks, and electric motor, painting a comprehensive picture of its inner workings. We then explored how these components come together to power the vehicle, highlighting the seamless process that emits only water as a byproduct. Lastly, we weighed the benefits and challenges of these vehicles, acknowledging their potential in reducing carbon emissions, yet recognizing the hurdles in infrastructure and costs that we need to overcome. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world of hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.